I'm sure you have not met a tiger or a bear up close, and you better not, because if you know their real size, you will definitely be horrified. If you've ever seen an elephant or giraffe up close, you know how big these animals look. But can you believe that some of the world's largest animals that once walked the planet were so gigantic that today's elephants look tiny compared to them? Many of the largest animals that ever lived on Earth are now extinct, but a few are still alive, such as the elephant, polar bear, and blue whale. The largest insect that ever existed was a kind of aquatic scorpion about 2 meters long. The largest marine animal was more than 18 meters long, and Argentinosaurus, believed to be the largest known dinosaur in history, weighed over 20 tons. Although scientists have identified about 1.5 million animal species, it is thought that there are a total of about 9 million species on Earth. Therefore, many types of animals have not yet been discovered. Although large and heavy animals such as elephants and blue whales still roam the Earth in today's world, millions of years ago, giant animals were much more abundant. Stay with us to get to know the longest, heaviest, and largest animals from different animal groups that have ever lived on Earth. Let's start with the colossal Argentinosaurus. This giant dinosaur lived about 94 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. It was one of the biggest dinosaurs that ever walked the Earth. Imagine an animal that was as long as a football field. Argentinosaurus could grow up to 100 feet long, which is about the same length as 10 cars parked end to end. This massive herbivore, plant eater, weighed over 20 tons, which is as much as 4 fully grown African elephants combined. Argentinosaurus had a very long neck, which helped it reach high up into the trees to eat leaves and branches. Its legs were thick and strong, like giant tree trunks, to support its enormous body. Despite its size, it probably moved quite slowly because of its massive weight. Scientists discovered the first fossils of Argentinosaurus in Argentina, which is how it got its name. Even though they only found a few bones, they could tell it was an incredibly large dinosaur because of the size of those bones. Next up is the megalodon, the largest shark that ever existed. This apex predator could grow up to 60 feet long, about 3 times the size of the largest great white sharks today. Its massive jaws could easily crush a car. Let's talk about the incredible Spinosaurus. This dinosaur lived around 100 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. It was one of the biggest meat-eating dinosaurs, even larger than the famous T-Rex. Spinosaurus could grow up to 50 feet long, which is about the same length as a school bus. It weighed up to 10 tons, which is as heavy as 2 large pickup trucks. One of the most unique things about Spinosaurus was the large sail on its back. This sail was made of long spines covered with skin, and it could grow up to 7 feet tall, about the height of an average man. Scientists believe that Spinosaurus spent a lot of time in water, like a crocodile. It had a long, narrow snout filled with sharp teeth, perfect for catching fish. Its powerful arms had large claws, which it used to grab onto prey, and the first fossils of Spinosaurus were found in Egypt. Next, let's talk about Titanoboa, the giant snake that lived around 60 million years ago. Titanoboa was the largest snake that ever existed, and it was truly enormous. Titanoboa could grow up to 40 feet long, which is about as long as a school bus. It weighed over a ton, which is more than an average car. Imagine seeing a snake that big slithering through the jungle. This giant snake lived in what is now South America, in a hot, swampy environment. Titanoboa was a top predator, meaning it was at the top of the food chain. It ate large prey, like crocodiles and giant turtles. With its powerful body, Titanoboa could squeeze its prey with incredible strength, crushing them before swallowing them whole. Scientists discovered Titanoboa fossils in a coal mine in Colombia. These fossils included huge vertebrae, or backbones, which helped them figure out just how big Titanoboa was. The name Titanoboa means Titanic boa, highlighting its massive size. Titanoboa lived just after the dinosaurs went extinct, so it didn't have to compete with them for food. The warm climate of its habitat helped it grow so large because cold-blooded animals like snakes can get bigger in warmer temperatures. If you were to see a Titanoboa today, you would probably be very scared. Its size and strength made it one of the most impressive and fearsome reptiles that ever lived. Quetzalcoatlus, the giant flying reptile. Quetzalcoatlus lived about 70 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period, around the same time as many dinosaurs. Quetzalcoatlus was the largest flying animal that ever lived. Its wingspan could reach over 30 feet, which is about as wide as a small airplane. Just imagine a bird so big that its wings stretched as far as a basketball court. Even though Quetzalcoatlus was huge, it was very light for its size. Its bones were hollow, like those of modern birds, which helped it stay light enough to fly. This flying reptile had a long neck and a big, sharp beak, which it used to catch fish and small animals. Scientists believe that Quetzalcoatlus could soar through the air for long distances, using air currents to stay up high without flapping its wings too much. It probably spent a lot of time gliding over ancient rivers and lakes, looking for food. In the realm of mammals, Paraceratherium stands out as the largest land mammal that ever lived. This hornless rhinoceros weighed as much as 4 elephants and could reach heights of over 16 feet at the shoulder. Now let's talk about Arthropleura, the giant millipede-like creature that lived about 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. Arthropleura was the largest land invertebrate that ever lived. It could grow up to 8 feet long, which is about as long as a car. Imagine seeing a millipede that big crawling through the forest. This huge creature had a long, segmented body with many legs, just like modern millipedes. It likely had over 30 pairs of legs, which helped it move quickly through its environment. Arthropleura lived in warm, humid forests where it could find plenty of plants to eat. Jacalopterus. The largest known arthropod ever was the Jacalopterus, a type of sea scorpion. It measured over 8 feet in length, with claws that could reach nearly 2 feet long, a truly terrifying sight in the ancient seas. Number 9 on our list is the blue whale, the largest animal ever living on Earth. Blue whales are still alive today, unlike the other giants we've mentioned. These amazing creatures live in the oceans all around the world. Blue whales can grow to be over 100 feet long, which is about the length of 3 school buses parked end to end. They can weigh as much as 200 tons, which is more than 33 elephants combined. Just imagine how big they must look swimming in the ocean. Even though blue whales are so massive, they eat some of the smallest creatures in the ocean called krill. Krill are tiny shrimp-like animals, and blue whales can eat up to 4 tons of them in a single day. They have special filters in their mouths called baleen plates that help them catch and eat large amounts of krill at once. Blue whales are known for their loud, deep songs, which they use to communicate with each other across long distances in the ocean. These songs can be heard for hundreds of miles underwater. These gentle giants are usually found alone or in small groups. They can travel thousands of miles as they migrate between their feeding and breeding grounds yearly. Number 10. And the last one on our list is the woolly mammoth, a giant relative of today's elephants. Woolly mammoths lived during the last ice age, which was about 10,000 years ago. These amazing creatures roamed the cold, snowy landscapes of North America, Europe, and Asia. Woolly mammoths were huge. They could grow up to 11 feet tall, which is about the height of a one-story house, and they could weigh up to 6 tons, which is as heavy as a small truck. They had long, curved tusks that could be up to 15 feet long. These tusks were used for digging in the snow to find food and for fighting with other mammoths. If you could travel back in time to the Ice Age, seeing a woolly mammoth would be like seeing a giant, furry elephant with huge tusks. They were truly magnificent creatures that captured the imagination of people all over the world. Thanks for staying with us one more time, and we hope you enjoy it.